Tiffany, and I'm with Jefferson County 4-H, and today I'm going to teach you a nice little project to do on one of our cold winter days. So what we're going to do today is a circular drawing. So the things that you will need for that is you will need some sketch paper. If you don't have sketch paper, that's okay. You can use cardstock or any type of paper you have. You're going to need some pencils. I have some charcoal pencils, but regular pencils are fine. If you don't have that, colored pencils, whatever you have around the house is a-okay. And also you're going to need an eraser, and you're either going to need a plate or a bowl. So depending on the size of your paper. So today I will be using a bowl because that will fit my paper, but I'm going to show you some examples. So the object with a circular drawing is you will draw your image inside the circle. So landscape pictures are actually a really good idea for that. I enjoy doing that. So here I actually used a solo cup for the circles, and I did 2 circles. So I just did some mountains there. And then also, my daughter is a big abstract fan, so that's something that she likes to do. So I thought I did a little abstract design right here in this circle, and this was a plate. And then in here we have a butterfly with lots of shading techniques, which we'll get to whenever we start drawing. I'll show you some different ways to give it more drama in your picture. And then just a fun, creative fish here. I don't know, maybe give it a name, Bob. You know, we'll go with that. And then here we also have just the sky, which I like doing that. So I tried to make it more like a nighttime sky. And then here I took a cup again and I did 3 circles where I connected them and just did some insects in there. So let's go ahead and get started. I'll show you what to do. So you're going to take your bowl or your plate and you're going to flip it over and take your pencils of choice. And you're going to make your circle. So just go all the way around. Just like this. And it's okay if you miss a little section, you can fill that in. It's no problem. Like I missed right here, and that's no problem. Just go back through and fill it. So I like to draw flowers a lot. That's something I do. So I'm going to draw some flowers in here. And then we'll go with our shading techniques. So I've been drawing since I was a little girl. It's something that just helps me calm down at times and just brings some joy into my day. So I'm one of those people that always on my receipts and napkins you'll find little doodles because that's what I do. So, but anyway, I'm gonna make right here some flower petals. And it's okay if it's not perfect. Don't worry, this is just for fun. Just for fun. And when we go to shade, it will get more dramatic. And it's really good to always turn your paper because that'll help your wrist out a little bit. And just think about your circle and what you would like to put in there. I've seen some people put the planets inside their circle. I've seen some turn the circle into an eyeball, which was very cool. I've seen landscape pictures. I've also seen the circle become a basketball. So I'm going to go through now and just kind of make some veins into my flower. Right in here and make a center for the flower. And then I'm going to work on some leaves and some more flowers. And then we'll get to my favorite part, which is shading. So I also like to do vines sometimes and add those in different spots with my flowers. Drawing is something great to do as a family. My daughter and I sit and do this a lot actually. We'll kind of make it into a game and see who can draw the fastest and see whose might be more realistic. So drawing is definitely something fun to do as a family. Alright, so I've got a few little spots for a vine, and now I'm going to add some leaves. Make little veins for the leaf. Now right now is just more like a simple sketch of it. It'll get more bold as we go. And don't worry if you have to erase a lot. When you shadow in, those markings will be covered from where you erased. So that is no problem. get a few more leaves on this side. And sometimes it's fun to just do half your circle, give it more of an abstract feel. Alright, I'm going to go back and add a little pieces to my vines here, just little embellishments. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about shadowing, and then we'll finish out our picture. Okay, so right here we have the crisscross shadowing. So with the crisscross shadowing, you basically make a rectangle or square to be your practice run, and you'll go through and you'll just make some stripes like this one way, and then you'll make them the opposite way. And that is a crisscross shadowing technique. And then the smudge technique, you need a charcoal pencil for that. So you'll make it kind of bold, so a little darker, and then you'll take your finger and just go over top of it. And you get that there. And then also we have the shadowing with dots, and basically they're clusters. So you'll just keep putting dots all together. And then we have contour lines, and that basically is when you go around the image that you've already created and make it more bold. So it would just be bold lines. So now we're going to take some of that and we're going to put it over here and make it look a little better than what it does. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go around my circle and I'm going to darken it. So this is the contouring lines that we were talking about. Go around and just kind of use it back and forth motion and make our circle look a little more bold. And once we do that, we'll work on the inside. Alright, so there's that. Now I'm going to go back and go through my flowers here, my petals on my flower. I'm going to do the same thing, a contouring. So I'm going to make it more bold. So I'm using more pressure when I do that, so it gives it a darker color. I like to do sketches a lot. I like the whole black and white vibe on paper. I think it looks very cool, but you do not have to do that. You could do this with watercolors and paint inside your circle. There's all kinds of options. And as you can see, I'm smudging a little bit because my hand is hitting it, but that's okay. I'll show you how to get rid of that at the end. That will happen. Now I'm going to go with my little vines here and come back through, darken those up, and I'll get the leaves as well. Shadowing is my favorite part. I feel like it just brings the picture a little more life and dimension and gives it a little more excitement. Okay, so now I'll show you what to do with the inside of your flower. So where our veins are, we're kind of just going to go over that real lightly, but we're going to kind of fan it out a little bit more, kind of like the crisscross effect that we spoke of earlier. And that'll give dimension to the inside of our flower. And then we're going to use the dot technique, and we're going to fill the center with the dots. And we'll shadow the center of the flower with that. And then I'm going to take my finger and smudge as well, so it just darkens that center. And I'm going to do the same with inside my flower here, so it gets nice and shadowed. And I'll go around my edges as well, kind of bring that in. Okay, so now we have this side here that doesn't have anything. So I'm just going to add some lines for a little contouring, but a lighter version. So just going to kind of bring the shadow in, kind of as if it would be the light coming through just slightly. And I'm going to keep this lighter than the other side. I'm going to come and just do a little bit of the same shadowing around the image here. Okay, and then I'm going to do just a little smudging back and forth. And now I'm going to clean up my edges here. So that eraser I spoke of, you will need it for this part. Because if you notice, it gets on your hand. So that's why it gets on your drawing. Okay, cleaning it up just a bit. So anyway, here's just a little bit of how to shadow a drawing with contouring lines. So I hope you do this at home. I hope you sit down as a family and maybe draw together and do some different techniques. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you stay well and stay healthy. And don't forget to check out the library for all kinds of different drawing books. Have a great day.